welcome to the next episode of the Coffee and Poo Bag Podcast. I am mega excited about this episode, okay? We're talking to the legend that is Jack Wiles from Rugby Buckets, and I didn't even know he was a veteran, didn't even know anything about him, okay? Just stumbling through Instagram, come across a couple of his videos, thought this guy's doing amazing stuff, making really creative stuff out of recycling football shirts, rugby shirts. One of the videos I stumbled across had 8.5 million views, and I was like, this guy's mega, this is really good. And then fast forward just, a couple of hours of me doom scrolling, and I see one of your videos with an RAF uniform immaculately in the background, medals on the chest, and the first thing I did was message you to say, what you're doing is amazing, I had no idea you're a veteran. So welcome to the podcast, Jack Wiles.
Cheers, pal, nice one. I bet he was gutted that 8.5 million views was a City shirt as well.
Absolutely devastated.
But boys, I can't speak in a minute. Don't we start? Let me shut my locker now.
We'll probably keep that.
That classic there.
This is the joys of business, mate. When you're an entrepreneur and you're running your own business, business doesn't stop,
Sorry, boys. I can hear them yattering outside now. No one's been here all day, and then all of a sudden, people turn up, so it's great. Mental.
So Jack, mate, Matt just said then about obviously seeing your immaculate uniform in the background. So can you just tell us a little bit about your military career?
Yeah, so I'm from my stake, small town in South Wales, about 40 minutes from Cardiff. Done a few dead-end jobs first. I say dead-end. They're good careers. So I was a welder fabricator for 2 years down in the steelworks. You've probably seen it all over the news now, that's closing down. And then I got sacked from there. I chose to go Magaluf instead of going to work, so good choice. And then I went doing timber frame, but I think there was always a little itch to join the military, and the time was right. I was 18 and I started RAF Reg training, RAF Regiment. Obviously that's 6 months training, passed that first time, and then I went to the Queen's Colour Squadron. Queen's Colour Squadron, now called King's Colour Squadron, based in London, Northolt. Amazing time there, done 5 years there. Really good. Obviously, it is drill, but the place you travel and the people you meet, I got friends for life from that unit. But what people obviously see the bad side of QCS or KCS now, with all the drill and ceremonial stuff. But when you get used to it, you're basically a dancer in uniform, and that's what it was. It was traveling around the world, basically dancing in uniform on the piss all the time. So suited me quite well. From there then I went to SFSG down in St Athan, close to home, and I was there for 5 years, and I finished 4 months ago.
That's mega, mate. So just for my awareness of the RAF Regiment is quite small, and my knowledge of the RAF Regiment is quite small. The Colour Squadron, you're the guys who do all the mega cool fancy rifle drill.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Mate, it's immaculate, mate.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Obviously, there's arguments like people say the best in the world and all that stuff, but there's Yanks. We've been up to America and done a show with a few of the Americans, and they do all that throwing the rifle stuff, crazy. Like none of us could do it. So, but Queen's Colour Squadron are really good at King's Colour Squadron are really good at what they do. Do all the stuff for the Edinburgh Tattoo. Do a load of shows like worldwide in America, Cyprus, and a load of repatriation stuff as well. I done a few World War II pilots out in Netherlands and in France, I think the other one was. But yeah, loads of cool stuff, mate. But you've got to polish your shit every day, haven't you? So some people don't like that.
But I think the thing is, from what you're saying, mate, you've experienced the best of both worlds, because to do all the ceremonial stuff, and do all the travelling in a non-threatening environment,
then
arguably working, supporting UKSF. That's a huge step change, and throughout your career you've experienced both. But how do you go from Queen's Colour Squadron, Immaculate Precision Drill, to UKSF, supporting, deploying, to Rugby Bucket hats? How did that come about?
Mate, I've always been a bit of a Del boy. When I was on QCS, obviously everyone needs to clean their kit and they do all the polishing shit, and like there's so much stuff you have to buy. You do like a training flight, so it's a 4-week course when you get to the squadron to do to learn the continuity drill, all the stuff, how to look after your kit basically. This is after training, so you're back into training again. And I realised we'd all gone out and spent like 120 quid. So obviously, my brain, there's money to be made here. Training flights come through every 2-3 months. So I went out and bought everything in Job Lot, set up a shop inside my locker and sold everything. Because I was training them, so they had to buy off me, do you know what I mean? So I earned a fucking killing until they cottoned on, and then they started giving stuff for free, which I was pissed about, but it happens. That. Go on.
I was going to say proper entrepreneurial spirit from the start.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, I had a little coffee shop up there as well while I was based in London. I was like out of a horse box. But at the time, we just finished the horse box. Everything was in, ready to go, start trading. And then I got posted to St Athens. So I was like, fuck. Towed that all the way back down and then sold it. But good decision, going to St Athens.
So I'm still intrigued. 'Cause I've seen your videos, mate, and they are like banging. But and you've told us a little bit about your like professions pre-military and during the military. So at what point did you go, I can make a hat here, like out of a shirt? Because I'm like, that is like fabricated welder, okay?
Yeah.
Heavy stuff, timber frame, heavy stuff. You good with your hands, like, and then it's discipline with when you're moving into the squadron. And then obviously SFG is different, and then there's no point in there where you go, I quite fancy doing some seamstress stuff or stuff like that. It's just really like I'd really like to know how you kind of that light moment came on, if that makes sense.
Mate, if my mates watch this, they'd be like, they call me like some of the boys would call me a cat. Just landed on 4 feet all the time. So when I was out on tour somewhere undisclosed, yeah, and I was based with Yanks. It was a small man team based somewhere with a lot of Americans, and they obviously they go full when they go away. They go full and they got everything. Well, first day I find a soul room with all like military kit, head to toe, like it's everywhere. So I was like, here we go. I'll make some stuff. Obviously, you too, Ben. In between the jobs we were doing and any traveling around the country, I was in that showroom every day and night just making kit, and then I mastered. I'll grab one out, 2 seconds. So, wash bags, boys. Wash bags, fully waterproof. This is what I was making out in that country. And then I had all the badge lads buying them off me, so I was selling them out there, using all the Yanks kit. And I set up a company doing this then. When I came back, but like, with military kit, it's all Yanks, isn't it? Americans they're massive with it, and unless you're really, really good, you're not going to sell anything. But then I was away on an STTT out in, I won't say, I was out on an STTT, and I seen a girl on YouTube turn a pair of jeans into a bucket hat, and I was like, fucking light bulb moment. Imagine that, and started a year ago. It's a year now on the 26th of this month. We're having an opening party. But I was in the military, mate. Like, I only finished 3-4 months ago.
That just, honestly, I just makes me laugh. I kind of like just imagine you just stumbling into a room and going, do you know what? I'm gonna have a crack at this. That's amazing, mate. Honestly.
Cheers, lads.
It's also, Jack, I think that it's a generational thing. The fact that you've watched a YouTube video and seen something and gone, I see something here.
Yeah.
And fast forward 12 months and you're retiring from the military and you're in business. You are in business. As I said, and your videos are incredible. Your creative mind of how you pull together the TikTok videos, how you pull together even how you make it, I think is a huge testament to you, mate. A huge testament.
Cheers,
and getting 8.5 million views on anything is huge. But what I'd like to ask is, so let's say you've been in business, as you say, you've been in business for a year.
Yeah.
What are the main lessons that you've learned as a businessman, going from a soldier, and to now being a business owner?
Yeah.
What are the main lessons you've learned over the last 12 months?
Mate, like this business wouldn't be where it was if I hadn't grafted. Mate, I've busted my balls for a year, like every day. Like it seems like nothing when you see a video on Instagram. It's like a 60-second clip, but you don't know how long that has gone into each one. And I've posted every single day, maybe twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, for a year. I've posted every day, and once it's like anything, mate. Like when you're in that situation of doing it all the time, you get used to it. It's like going to the gym, innit? Once you're doing it all the time, it becomes second nature. But I think anyone came in here now and see what I do every day, just my head's going from bump, bump, bump to other things. It's like they'd probably burn out in a fucking week, but it's like I'm so used to it now. It's just it's my life now. I love it. Like I wouldn't change anything. I love what I'm doing.
So, that's a really really important thing that you just said there about is you've got to be prepared to graft, right?
Yeah.
Who's going to do this work for you? And you are obviously grafting to post any type of content 2-3 times a day, and the quality it is, mate, it's phenomenal. And consistency, as they say, doing anything consistently is what's going to make a difference. And mate, it's huge. It's huge what you're doing.
So you were kind of running it in tandem. Then you were still in at the time, and then you were creating this fantastic business and driving it forward. Like, how did you manage to get 27 hours in your day, mate? Like, I mean, obviously the way that your mindset is constantly working at 1,000 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Do you feel that now? Obviously, your military training would have helped massively for that, because obviously we are very reactive in nature whenever we're doing anything, when we're out on ops or tour. Do you feel that it's helped you in good stead for moving into business, and particularly your area, which is very, very creative? Do you feel like that mindset has helped you and drive your business forward?
Yeah, definitely. Like, obviously, we all go through hardship when you're in the military. That's what joining the military is. You do a bit of hardship, you come out the other end, and it's brilliant. And you've done, like, going in the field for a week, mate. It's dog shit. But then you come out, you're like, it was alright actually. I quite enjoyed it. But like, it's different with business. It doesn't seem to have that lull. It's constant. Like, my missus, as fair play to her, she's put up with some shit to me. Like I'm on my phone. I'm not as bad now. I knock it off like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. That's me. I won't go on it. But like first 6 months, man, I was on it till 11, 12 at night, on it 6 in the morning, and that was every day. That wasn't a fucking once, twice a week. That was every single day. I was grafting my balls off to get this business up and running. And without that, they say about the algorithms there on Instagram. Without me posting every single day consistently, in the background, well, not just posting videos on Instagram, YouTube, and all the other shit, but like running a business as well. It's without all the postage you got to do.
One of the things that stood out for me was one of your videos was your transparency about there was not issues with your website, but it wasn't as user friendly. So, and you put a video out there saying, yeah, we're getting a lot of feedback about this on the website, so we've changed it, And then it was an hour later, there was another one. It was someone wanted to know how to track their orders, and you fixed that. And that part of iterative delivery of a business is, as an agile coach, for me, it was a game changer. It was really good to see how your business is improving. I mean, just class, mate.
Yeah, so the reason for it, mate, like originally when we first started doing this, I was just having parcels come in I'd have a look inside, right, that's the name, happy days. When they ask the question, and as my jersey arrived with you, I'll just give them, yeah, I've got it, perfect. But obviously, with the amount of orders and the increase, I knew I wanted a system like this in place, but I didn't know it existed. So I've got a mate who's pretty good on building websites and writing code and all that kind of stuff. And then we messaged him that morning about the tracking of orders. And he's like, mate, there's definitely something out there. So he went straight onto it and then set it all up for us. And the real reason is for obviously the customer to know that their jersey has been received by us. But secondly, just frees me up because I was getting so many messages every single day. Have you got my jersey? Have you got my jersey? And I was having to go to a book to look, which is stopping me cutting, stopping me doing other stuff. It just, and we've had it for how long? A week and a half? And I'm having hardly any messages now because they all know they can go onto the website, have a look, right, yeah, mine's been received, I'll get it back within 3 weeks.
Automation, take the, anything that you can make slicker in business, it's the way forward, mate. I think it's mega.
Yeah, that's one thing I love about it, mate. Like, we're always progressing. My dad's is an advocate for making things more slicker. He's always got good ideas. It's not really me, mate. It's all him. He's the one. He's the one with the brain in the organisation. I can just do a bit of cutting.
I want to take you back to the sort of the inception of Rugby Bucket hats and the idea, and that was it like an instant success? So was it like first video, first hat out the door, and then you just got overwhelmed, or how did it actually materialise?
Yeah, mate. So when I first started, I'd sold to a few blokes in the military. They'd had a few off me, boys who played rugby, obviously, but we were still the hats weren't right. We was using the different templates to what we use now, but that's all part of the progression. But it's when we first started, we was doing about 10, maybe 15 a month, like nothing to break the bank. It was like, it is what it is, nice little side hustle. But that was for about 3-4 months, and then like orders. Then once the videos started doing well, and we got the rugby following, it started taking off then, and we was doing a lot more numbers then every week. But for 3-4 months, mate, it could have been easy for me to just wrap my tits in and go.
I was literally just about to say, like, 3 or 4 months thinking, will this ever pick up? But you've got that self-belief to go, this is going to work. And obviously it has in absolute, well, to coin phrase, bucket loads. So, yeah.
I knew, mate. I knew the concept would work. Like, I've got so many jerseys in my cupboard that never going to get used again. They were going to go in the bin or they go to a charity shop. Why not repurpose it? They're all sentimental to you from when you've played or when you've worn it to a match and Wales have won, for instance. It's like every jersey you've got, or most rugby fans, they've all got a sentimental value to them. So why not turn it into something reusable again? Stops it going into landfill, and
100%. And obviously this progression is started off from like you say, 10 to 15 a month, and then you're now at a comfortable level where you're getting through a lot, and then obviously your brand and your business is growing wider and wider and wider. And I want to touch on the Joe Marler piece. Obviously, it would be stupid not to. Can you just give us sort of an overview of that and how that came about?
So we obviously are a massive fan of Marler. Most rugby fans are, and my dad had a photo of him, like a caricature photo from when I was a kid. And I put a photo up of it next to a England bucket hat, and he followed us from it. We really had like 1,000 followers, and I was like, to the fucking missus, "Fucking come on, Marler's followed us," and she was like, "Who the fuck is Joe Marler?" I'm like, "Wind your neck in, come on, sort it out." And then about a week or so later, he hadn't followed us then. He was like, "Right, get rid of the riffraff." But then, when we got to like 15,000 again, then he followed us back and he messaged us saying, "Mate, I need one of these bucket hats now. I'm sending some jerseys down." And it's it's not one of our best performing videos, but it's the one that it sticks out to me. If anyone asks, that's the one I push them to watch.
It was one of my favourites, and I think
100%.
when you talk about rugby shirts and the sentimental value, you know, the Joe Marler sent you his like match worn test big deal shirt, not like he didn't go to the England shop and go, give us an update England shirt, I want to get this thrown into a bucket. He gave you one he'd worn. People would pay hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds for that. But he was like, turn that, my 60th appearance one, into a hat.
It wasn't one, it was four.
Four
game one tops. 4 game one tops for one hat.
That's amazing.
Jack, that's brilliant. And, you know, and thank you so much for giving us your time for the pod. I guess just to close it off, I appreciate you're a busy man and the bucket hats are not going to make themselves, but what's next for Rugby Buckets?
So we're in conversations with a few big clubs in the English Prem. We've got a Leeds club who we're in conversations with as well, who we're looking to do a bit of content with. I can't disclose who they are yet, obviously. We're looking at doing something with the military, all 3 services. I've got a pretty cool idea for that, and we're in conversation with one of the services about the idea we've had. So yeah, that'd be great if we could, like, for instance, if they give us their jerseys, we make them, we sell them, and then a percentage then goes back to an army charity, a RAF charity, or whatever we sell. I think it's a massive market for us, and we're pumping money that was never going to be there back into a charity that's going to help someone who needs it, basically.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, and keep doing what we're doing. When bucket hats maybe go to trend, if they do, I think they've been here since the 70s, haven't they? But like, if it's like I mentioned earlier, if bucket hats start tapering off for us, we've got other products we're going to introduce, and we'll start doing them. And we've got plan A, B, and C ready. So if things start to go downhill and we don't have any sales, then we'll move on to the next.
Jack, I just want to close off the pod by saying thank you so much for giving up your time.
Yeah, definitely.
Cheers, boys. Thank you.
Appreciate you, busy man. I am inspired by watching just your content. You know, just by watching it, I enjoy it. I think the fact that you did this from your bedroom to being where you are in a unit, the fact that you're potentially not far away from being a brand in your own right. I think these things, mate, from an idea of watching a YouTube video while in ops it blows my mind, mate. And a huge shout out to you.
Yeah.
And your team.
I also want to say, I just want to add to that, in 12 months, like...
Not yet. On the 26th.
Got to try
in 354 days, mate. Not bad, that,
yeah. It's going well, mate. It's going well.
Perfect. Listen, Jack, we will let you go, mate. Thank you so much for giving up your time, and we'll speak to you soon, mate.
Cheers, boys. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Take care, mate.
Cheers, bye.